Chelsea versus Manchester City. Wembley, the FA Cup final. Honestly, I am very nervous. Because this is one of those games that just feels heavy before it's even kicked off. Chelsea have not won a game since beating Leeds United in the FA Cup semi-final, and we have not beaten Manchester City since the Champions League final back in 2021. This stat alone just feels ridiculous when you say it out loud. It also, quite frankly, terrifies me. Somehow, after everything this season, Chelsea are now 90 minutes away from a trophy. And if we win this trophy, we could have qualified for the Europa League. Something that doesn't look possible given where we are on the table right now. Because, let's be honest, winning tomorrow will change everything. Whether people will call this season a success, that's a different story for another video. But this does very much mean that this is a season-defining game. If we win, we could be on track to go on and do something great next season. If not, well, I would rather not think about this right now. Mainly because I'm already so nervous for this game that I don't even really know how to structure this preview properly. So let's go straight into the big talking points. But before we do that, please be sure to like the video and subscribe if you haven't already, and make sure to turn notifications on because I am doing a watch along for this game tomorrow and you wouldn't want to miss out on that, would you? The most important thing about this final will be starting off strongly. Unfortunately, this isn't something Chelsea have been very good at this season. I mean, look no further than the Liverpool game, literally last weekend, where Ryan Gravenberch managed to score inside 6 minutes. But what does help is one of the biggest thing about this final. It's how it starts. And there's actually a reason for Chelsea to believe that they can hurt City from early on. If you look back at the game at Stamford Bridge in April, Chelsea were arguably the better team in the first half. We pressed well, we competed physically, and we actually controlled spells of the game in a way that City don't normally allow. That is massive, because it proves Chelsea can compete with them, at least in phases. And that is exactly what tomorrow has to be about. Chelsea cannot start passive, and if they sit back and let City dictate everything from minute one, this will become a very, very long afternoon at Wembley. But if Chelsea, they start early on, they press, they win second balls, and make Man City uncomfortable, the game can change. And yeah, that's something that gives a lot of Chelsea fans hope, especially from a Man City side that had to come from behind and win late on against Southampton in the semi-finals of the FA Cup. And yes, while they always do find a way, that is something great teams do. But they are not completely untouchable right now. After all, they have probably just bottled the league title to Arsenal. But anyway, this shows that it is important to go at them early enough so that they feel the pressure too. The first 20 to 30 minutes could decide everything for this game. This can also be helped by how Chelsea set up tactically. Now, this is where things can get really interesting, because reports are suggesting that Chelsea could switch to a back three, and immediately that raises questions. Because there is really only one manager that is heavily associated with this system right now, and that's Xabi Alonso. And with Chelsea reportedly wanting to appoint their next manager very soon after the final, it does make one start to wonder, is this just tactical flexibility or a possible glimpse into the future? Because Chelsea and back threes have a history. After all, Conte used it to win the league, and Thomas Tuchel used it to win the Champions League. And he won that Champions League against Man City. So this is something that makes sense again. Because Chelsea cannot go toe-to-toe in an open game. That is something that usually ends quite badly. So a back three will give us structure, and it will give us protection from City's midfields, which like to basically flood the midfield, and it can allow for Chelsea to stay compact and hit them in the transition, which is where their best moments will come. This leads me quite nicely onto the predicted lineup, which will show up right about now. As you can see on here, I think that Chelsea should go with Robert Sanchez in goal, with a back three of Chalobah, Colwill and Wesley Fofana, the wing backs of Gusto and Marco Correa, a midfield pivot of Caicedo and Reece James, then have Enzo Fernandez and Cole Palmer more advanced, and João Pedro to lead the line. Now, I really like the balance of this because you've got the physicality in the defence, the recovery pace of Fofana, composure of Colwill, the energy from the wing-backs of Cucurella and Gusto, and control in the midfield with Caicedo and Reece James. In addition, Reece James in midfield is actually interesting. This is something we've seen that Maresca did last season, so he can operate there. And what helps is that he's physically dominant, he's calm in possession, and with Caicedo, he can control the tempo of the game from the midfield, which in a game like this is something that really matters. But make no mistake, Caicedo is the key. If he wins his battles, Chelsea can stay in the game, and if he doesn't, City will probably take over. It's that simple. Then you have Cole Palmer, the big man for the big occasions. Chelsea's talisman, our most important attacking threat, and the player who can decide this final in one moment. Yes, he has gone quiet in games against his former club, but finals are different. And this feels like the exact type of moment he was made for. Because Chelsea might only get a few chances tomorrow, but Palmer has to take them if we actually want to win this game tomorrow. But I also want to be clear about something. Chelsea cannot afford chaos tomorrow. This game has to be controlled emotionally, because City punished chaos better than anyone. We saw that at Stamford Bridge back in April. One mistake, one loose pass, one stupid loss of the ball after lapse of concentration. City can take the ball and we can throw away the game from that. That is the reality. And with all of this is why I cannot predict this game. I am not giving a score prediction. I genuinely can't because I'm so nervous. I'm genuinely scared that I might actually jinx it. Because on paper, City are still the better team. They've dominated Chelsea for years and they know how to win finals. But at the same time, finals are not played on paper. They are played in moments, and tomorrow could come down to just one. One goal, one tackle, one mistake, one bit of magic. And that could allow Chelsea to either walk away with the trophy or walk away wondering what just happened and what could have been. So yeah. Anyway, let me know your score predictions down in the comments, what you think, and if you've got this far, please like the video and subscribe if you haven't already with notifications on, so you will be able to catch me going live for my watch along tomorrow. Thank you all so very much for watching. Goodbye. Come on, Chelsea. Please bring it home.